You also talk about, you bring a lot of humor and obviously a lot of common sense. You also bring the F word. What are the F words that make you fearless in business?
Well, there's four words. One, I'm not sure I'm allowed to say on TV, but there's three words you have to get out of your vocabulary. One is fear, one is failure, and one is feeling fraudulent. And that, no matter where you are in business, if those words are in your vocabulary, they're in your thought process, and they're in how you lead and create decisions. And fear we talk about a lot. Like, what is it that you're really afraid of? That's an easy one to get rid of if you decide to. Failing, you're going to have to get used to it. You almost have to turn it into a positive. Like, if I fail, it just sets me up for another success. That seems really hippy-dippy. I don't like that. Just get rid of it. I'm not going to fail. I'm just going to go in a different direction. The fraudulent part, I think, is the hardest, especially for new business owners and certainly women. This concept that I'm not educated enough, smart enough, rich enough, pretty enough, they're going to find out I don't know what I'm doing. Well, the truth is most businesses don't know what they're doing, especially in growth. And so there's this feeling of I'm a fraud. Somebody's going to find out. That somebody's going to figure it out. And so you spend a lot of time close, keeping everything close to the vest and trying to hide what's really going on. You have to get rid of that. It actually is what almost killed me, because I was so worried that people were going to figure out that I was just this, hot-tempered pregnant woman that started a business in her living room, and I had no idea how to run a call center. I had no idea how to grow the business the way I did. Clients would call me up and say, "Charlie, I have a business problem. Can you solve it?" And I'd go, "Yes." I'd say yes before I even thought it through, because I was so worried they were going to figure out I wasn't that good. So I'd hang up the phone, I'd go figure out the problem, and then I would call back really quickly because I wanted them to know that I could solve the problem. Because I didn't want to be found out that I didn't know. And so I find that a lot when companies are growing is that you start making decisions, choices, attitudes in your company because you don't want to be found out. And that's the one thing. The biggest F word is the one that you all can imagine, is you need to use it sometimes. And that was one quick example that I can give you is I was in a client meeting and the client had screwed up in his business. We had done an amazing job. They had a beautiful television commercial. We had tripled their sales. We were selling incredible amounts of product in our call center. We had uplifted their brand. We had done our job. It was a beautiful campaign. I felt incredibly good about it. He had screwed up on his side, and he was going through cash flow issues. And so he takes me out to lunch in front of his whole team and then basically says, "Listen, you were a part of this mistake, so we want you to take 50% off your bill because we're losing money and you should have helped us." And did it in front of his team, and I was still very young at the time, and I went in my head, "No, we didn't. Oh my goodness. I'm afraid, what if I say no? He'll leave me as a client. What if I say no? Will I be able to replace him as a client?" Fear, all of that was in my head. And I went to the bathroom to take a break, and that's all I could think about is, if I don't give this man 50% off on this project, which I can't afford, he'll leave me. He'll talk bad about me. I may not be able to replace the revenue. Oh my goodness, I'm so afraid of saying no to this man. What I should have said was, beep off. Mm-hmm. Screw you.
The other F word.
The other F word. I should have had enough confidence. I didn't. I went back to the table and I said, "Okay." And he said, "Oh, I'm so happy we're partners in success. Let's order dessert." And that for me was the worst thing. It was so horrible for me to know that I had just given away what I didn't have to give for no reason. And in business, sometimes when the relationship is bad, even if it's a client relationship, I've only said it to one client, at one point, that is the word. It's you saying, "Look, enough's enough. I got this, and I don't need you for it." But if you can't say that, whether it's in your marriage, whether it's with your kids, personally, then you're not liberated to say, "Hey, I'm in control of the situation." And that's sort of, sometimes it's just appropriate.